Hi, and welcome to this series where I'm going to be looking at the Nord Wave 2 synthesizer. In this video, I'm going to take you through the synthesizer and why I think it's a very interesting tool for sound design. There's also going to be a video on its sampling capabilities, and there's also going to be a video just kind of showing you the sounds and why I think this is a very inspiring tool that provides you sounds that are very original and things that are not easy to find on other synthesizers. Okay, so with that, let's dive in. Let me bring in the sounds of this track and let me give you a first impression of what this can sound like. Okay, so I hope that gives you a first idea of what the synthesizer can sound like. Okay, so let me take all the effects and take the effects off here. Okay, so nice. Let's start with adding, I think, delay, which is kind of the one you always have to have, right? Super nice. Let's add the reverb. Okay, moving on to this one, which I really love. It's something, there's a function here called vibe. Just does this thing of kind of destabilizing the sound, which is super cool and can make a sound that's kind of perfectly generated maybe in the synthesis engine feel more alive and more kind of an analog vibe. Let me show it to you again. Then there's this EQ here, which is super powerful. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. So let me bring it in. Now let me A/B it again and take everything off. So this is the beauty, I think, of this device, and something that I realized when I started playing with is that you can go from something that's like, you know, a nice multi-sampled instrument. So this is my Prophet 600 samples, and you can take that and put it in a space where it gets like such a produced, ready-to-go sound. Literally within like 20 seconds once you get used to the user interface. And that's the thing that is so awesome about the way this synth is laid out, is you have everything laid out right in front of you with which you can interact with your sound super fast and do sort of the most, like I would say, like 80, maybe 90% of the, synth processing things you would do with plugins in the DAW, which will take you a lot of time, then menus and finding stuff and loading presets or tweakage with the mouse or whatever. You can do it here so much faster, and you can actually get to a place where you can materialize the sounds you have in your head really quick, and it becomes super inspiring. Initially, I have to be honest, I didn't have Nord on my sort of radar since many, many years ago, where I actually had a Nord Lead 2X, back in the days when I was doing Psytrance. And I hadn't really stayed up to date with what it is that they're doing. And this, I think, is a total sleeper synthesizer because of three things. One, it's amazing to use. The user interface on it is just super powerful, super easy to use, really inspiring to get great sounds from. And obviously it sounds really good. The reverbs, the delays, all the processing that's there. The second thing is it's built like a tank. It's amazing to use. Everything on it is massively solid, and it's one of these super quality products still built actually in Sweden. And then three, and this is what you're going to see in one of the other videos, you can load this with your own samples or samples that Nord provides and just take it in so many inspiring sonic directions that it'll never get old. It'll never get boring to play with, I think, as an instrument, because you can just, throw it full of other samples and have something completely different. And the way that that is managed with a software on the screen, on the computer that connects to this via USB, is super amazing and so easy to use. But let me show you how easy it is to do this. I'm going to take you over to my computer, and I have the software running here now so that I can just double click on any of these and load it over into the Wave 2. And as you can see here now, that sound is loaded. And I'm maintaining all the effects and everything else that I had on there because it's just changed out this wave in the sort of oscillator section, literally from the computer just with a double click. Let me grab a piano. There's one here which I noticed because it has kind of a bigger file set. It's called Grandma's Upright. If I take you back to the synth now, you'll see that that's been loaded now. This would be a good example where I would like to add a bit of high frequency, so it's very easy to just grab this EQ over here and just bring that in. Some aftertouch. Okay, one more. Let's check this one out. It's called Ukrainian Bandura. So yeah, going through this and checking out how well it's integrated with the computer and how easy it is to just try out different stuff, but have it in the end all in front of you on an interface where you can touch everything and tweak everything and actually start layering these kinds of sounds just kind of blew my mind. And as I don't see a lot of people talking about this, I don't see a lot of people ranting and raving about this as they do with many other brands. It's one of the most intuitive, easy to use, inspiring sound design tools and instruments that I've ever come across. And yeah, I'm really, really impressed with what Nord has done on this. Okay, so I promised I was going to show you the Arpeggiator. Let me show you this because it's got some really interesting functions. Let me put it on normal Arpeggiator mode first. Have a listen. Let's try now on this poly mode, which I found was like, this is, I don't know, I haven't seen this before in other synths. Check this out. It's a very interesting instrument. It's an amazing sound design tool that is super intuitive and really fast. The possibility to import your own samples, or the one that Nord provides, is huge because you can always keep changing it and refreshing it. And actually you can take all of sort of your dodgy, you know, old vintage analog synths and put them in a box that you can take with you on stage, or that is very reliable and sounds amazing. And yes, sculpting sounds with this has been a bit of a revelation, and being able to access sort of the very non-typical, you know, guitars, strings, ethnic instruments, and bring them into your productions, for me was something really interesting, and yeah, something I can really recommend checking out. So there's further videos on the channel on the whole process of creating your own sampled instruments with this, which using the software that Nord provides is incredibly easy. And I'm also showing some of the incredible sounds that this device has on a separate video. So I hope this was interesting for you to get an overview of the synth, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.